What's going on, everybody? It's RGB here, back again. Hope you are having a great day today. And in this video, my friends, we are taking a look at this brand new PS4 emulator for Android devices. And this one is called the Bachata S4. If you have watched my previous video, you probably know that PS4 emulation on Android is still in its early stages. But this emulator right here is taking things a step further. And it's a fork version of the Shad PS4 emulator, which directly uses the Fex Core on ARM64 Android devices, which brings better compatibility and support for running PS4 games on Android. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Go to the releases section. So right now, the Bachata S4 version 0.1.7 build is the latest. And in this update, they have fixed and improved a lot of things. Support for Mali GPUs has been improved with the Vortec driver, faster package import, in-app diagnostic reports, and other improvements and fixes. And this is the latest new build that was released just hours ago. You can also check out the other update logs for this emulator as well. You can get the package from here, so let me quickly show you. I have already installed the package on this phone. The setup process is not too complicated. Here it shows GPU is unverified. So continue the process. Here you need to choose the turnip driver. And if you are using Mali GPU Android device, you can use this Vortec experimental driver, which uses the default system driver. Here there's also an option for Mali GPU optimization. Well, I'll soon do a separate video on that as well. Here it already shows the available drivers. We have Turnip Gen 8 drivers for 8 Elite or lower devices. Currently, Gen 8 V2 is working and most stable driver, which we also used on GameHub emulation. So select the driver here and continue. That's it. We are ready. Now we are on the main interface. Here we have import game option. Here you can choose the game folder or install the direct package file. And on the top, we have settings. We can be able to modify some things here. So this is the quick setup. Now let's actually jump into the main part. Well, I have already set up everything on this phone. Here I have already imported some game ROMs like Bloodborne, SSX3, and others. And if you want to import more, you can import a game extracted folder. Like as shown in this way. Like if you have large game size files, you need to extract, dump them into a separate folder, and import the folder. Or if you have small size titles, it's fine. Just import the package. And confirm. That's it. It starts extracting the package files. Right, it's installed. Now let's go to settings. Right, we are on the runtime section, where you can able to change the emulator backend settings. Well, mostly leave all these settings to default, because the devs already use the best settings. In audio section, as usual, leave them to default. We have debug. In GPU, right. Here we have FSR option to the GPU setting. Enable the full screen. Here the full screen mode is set to windowed, or you can set it to full screen, or you can go with the default. We also have the HDR option, but don't use it. And here, screen resolution. We have internal resolution. Well, mostly I'll leave it to the default 720p resolution, because the native PS4 actually runs on 1080p resolution. And mostly leave all others to default settings. Also, we have general, input, emulator log, and the Vulkan settings. Mostly leave all these to default. Now go to CPU. Here we have two backend modes. One is Fex and the other is ARM64. But right now, it's recommended to use the Fex Core for better compatibility. Now go to drivers. We have already set up the Turnip Gen 8 V2 driver, which is currently the best and the stable driver. Now go to raw.here. Still, you can be able to edit this raw runtime configuration by changing up the settings. Now, let's go to controls, and this emulator supports the controller. You can connect and use it by mapping keys, which also has the motion control support, which is cool, and on-screen touch input as well. And these are the recommended settings. You mostly don't need to change anything except the custom driver. All right, so now it's time for the test. Now let's load the Bloodborne. But before we start, let's quick jump into its options. Here, mostly leave all these settings to default. And in GPU settings, make sure to disable this direct access memory to avoid game crashing. In CPU, the Fex Core is set. In drivers, as usual. And in raw runtime. Of course, we have already configured everything here. Now, let's launch the game. And also, if you are new here, make sure to like this video, and also subscribe to our channel for more tests. All right? Here, it's almost using more than 8 GB of RAM. Even still, the regular PS4 only has 8 GB RAM. Again, it has faster DDR5 memory. Also, if you are using phones with Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 or above, it would be much better in compilation and faster load times. Also, still, this is an experimental build. Only few games are worked. If you check out their official source, only some of these games are actually worked and opened. Some worked in-game, and some didn't. Hope things get better in the future updates. Well, let's have to wait and see. Also, the phone right here I'm using has the 8 Elite Gen 4 processor, which has 16 GB of RAM. All right. And there we go. It's loaded. Finally, we got a PS4 game working on Android before GTA 6. And finally, the Bloodborne is loaded. And still, there are a lot of frame drops in here. We are getting like 9 to 10 FPS. I hope the future updates might fix and work better. This is actually kind of promising. Also, one more good news is that even the PS5 emulator got released for Android. That's seriously impressive. Well, I'll surely check that as well and update it to you. Well, the thing is, it's actually running on the native 1080p default PS4 resolution, which is kind of insane, right? The phone is already getting too hot. Well, the character already died here. And look at the quality, guys. Like, this is insane. There are no graphical glitches. Actually, the turnip driver we used is actually doing a great job. And I'll soon also do a video on the Mali GPU as well, as this emulator already comes with inbuilt Vortec driver. Still, I'm not sure if it works, or might not. Well, there you have it. That's pretty much everything about this new Bachata S4 PS4 emulator for Android. It's still an experimental build, but seeing a PS4 game actually boot and run on an Android phone is pretty impressive. Hopefully we'll see better compatibility and performance in the upcoming updates. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel for more. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.